To start, it has been an honor and privilege to serve as committee members on this advisory committee to inform the creation of the Kele Puna Comprehensive Management Plan.
The Office of Hawaiian Affairs Trustees considered approving the Kele Puna Comprehensive Management Plan during a Resource Management Committee meeting on Oahu on Wednesday. The meeting was live-streamed over the Internet.
For stewardship that will protect, preserve, enhance, and perpetuate the cultural and natural resources of Kele Puna for current and future generations. 2 years ago, we began this journey, undertaking with an office ceremony to articulate each member's kuleana to Kele Puna.
But just as a reminder, Kele Puna is a wet rainforest.
Planning consultant Peter Young presented the plan to the OHA Board of Trustees.
It's 25,800 acres, almost the size of Kaho'olawe. And for your Oahu perspective, the coastline to the Ko'olau, Bishop Museum to Waialae Country Club.
It's a special place.
In June 2017, the public was given the same detailed overview during a meeting held in Kea'au.
Right now, OHA is used to spending $228,000 a year. We tried to come up with reasonable levels to get the real sense of what it's really going to cost. A lot of the discussion from the trustees meeting, they recognize it's going to cost a lot of money. And there's a concern, but we're not getting any money in return. And what we're trying to do with the plan is show them and show everybody, because it's what we heard as well. When you protect the forest, you really have something, and you protect the gathering rights, not just for pigs, but for forest products. When you protect that kind of thing, in today's kind of society where there's encroachment going into forested lands all over the islands, here you can protect, it's priceless what you can do here by protecting that in this place for the beneficiaries of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs.
At the August 23rd meeting, some trustees expressed reservations.
And I can tell you, Peter, it sounds wonderful, but OHA was never a welcome partner to this arrangement of Kele Puna. It met with such disagreement from community members, and also my good friend Polikapu Dedman and Pele Defense Fund. There seemed to have been a concern as to whether or not we had the credentials or the heart to manage the forest. And it has taken 11 years from acquisition to where we are today. We worked with DLNR to help us get to a management level, and that failed. And now we're at a point where we're going to adopt a CMP, a management plan for Kele Puna. I'm still not convinced that we will be embraced by the community there. It just go flip-flop, yeah, as the tide comes and leaves, the ebbing of the tide. Today, oh yeah, they like OHA. Maybe tomorrow they're not going to like OHA. Then if we start looking at these plots for people to, we favoritism. You know what I mean? So we've been there, done that, So for 11 years, all I can say is this is a good management plan. We don't have a blank check. I think considerably we're looking at the contributions that we have made throughout this period for the last 11 years. And that's a good thing, and we should just keep moving. If we seek application to get a subzone recognized, and if appropriate legislative kinds of requirements to allow us to do certain things, that's great. But my long term is to have always had these practitioners to oversee much of this, because they come with a volunteer spirit. And this is where I think we have to really start developing a stronger relationship with the Office of Hawaiian Affairs.
It doesn't present a long-range goal with a budget. It doesn't tell us the amount of money that we as trustees should be generating in the trust, maybe $1 million a year, $500,000 a year for the next 10 years, 20 years. It doesn't tell us where we're going to go. And so there's a bit of liability, because if we say to the public, we've adopted a plan, and this plan contains dozens and hundreds of recommendations, we will be judged by not having fulfilled that plan. So while I have no criticism of the work, it's necessary work to establish a philosophy. It's necessary work to see our options and to see the different potential actions that can be taken. In terms of the work of this board here, this doesn't tell us what place this should take in terms of the overall resources of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. Whether we need to generate money, are we looking at a project into which we want to put millions of dollars for the next 10 years, and how this will interact with decisions we make about kaka'ako and so forth.
There was a partnership of us that purchased the Kele o Puna. It wasn't just all of our money. And this is what was the obligation that we worked towards a CMP. So this project that's 1,000 pages that's being recommended is actually something that is going to fulfill that commitment that we are fixed to. What I'm concerned about is no matter how much we do and what we look at the long-term commitments to continue to upkeep this work. And believe me, Kele o Puna began with Pele's appeal with PDF. It went through the Hawaii State Supreme Court. They raised the religious issues relating to the worship of Pele. Thousands of people were part of the takedown of the fence and caused the tremendous work that was done. But nonetheless, it was a successful outcome. I don't have an issue with the funding because we've been providing for that. But anything beyond that, we're going to have to really scale down and ask the real hard questions as you've raised, Trustee O'Connor, on how we're going to provide. Because these are legacy lands. We don't generate any revenue from it. It's not anticipated to give us any kind of income. So we're going to have to figure out how to fund it. And there's going to be some very lean years if that's look forward. But we are obligated to pass the CMP plan that has been prepared.
Eventually, the trustees voted to give the plan their preliminary approval.